So Chinese President Xi Jinping's first state visit to North Korea in his 6.5 years as leader of that country. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's first time hosting Mr. Xi after traveling 4 times to China to come face-to-face with his Chinese counterpart. Now, the visit many experts view as a last-minute put-together as both seek breakthroughs in their negotiating binds with the U.S. Kim-Xi summit and a series of summit diplomacy waiting to happen in the next few weeks. Let's get an in-depth analysis. Joining me live is Frank Jannuzi, President and CEO of the Maureen and Mike Mansfield Foundation. He's also an international affairs policy expert who's served as Asia Policy Director for Joe Biden, John Kerry, and for the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations. Frank Jannuzi, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good.
Right. Chinese President Xi Jinping and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un wasted no time to sit down for a bilateral summit. They went really right to it just hours after Mr. Xi's arrival in Pyongyang. Now, we've learned that Kim signaled a willingness to compromise and stalled nuclear talks with the U.S. And, of course, Xi pledged assistance for North Korea's efforts to ensure its own security and development. Have the two gained the leverage that they were seeking on U.S. President Trump?
I think that leverage might not be quite the right word to describe what's in play right here. But I think for sure that Xi Jinping seeks to deliver to President Trump something of value when they meet to get Japan. Xi is eager to repair U.S.-China relations, which are severely strained right now by the trade war, which is underway. And Xi Jinping knows that Donald Trump prizes the meaningful foreign policy accomplishments which he can point to during his re-election bid in 2020. So I think Xi Jinping is very eager to bring Kim Jong-un back to the table. So securing his flanks. We have seen him reach out to Vladimir Putin as well as now to Xi Jinping, all in an effort to ensure that when he does re-engage with the Americans, he will do so from a position.
Right. We seem to be having some difficulties with the connection there, so we're going to have to cut it off here. Thank you so much, Frank Jannuzi, for that, and we'll try to reconnect with you in our later newscast. And now we want to reconnect with Frank Jannuzi, the president and CEO of the Mansfield Foundation. Our Skype connection wasn't too smooth last time, so we're going to pick it up with a phoner. Are you there, Frank?
Yes, good morning. I hope this is better.
Yes, I hope so too. Now, picking up on where we left off, Chinese President Xi Jinping and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un really wasted no time, and there had been forecasts that this summit would produce very little outwardly, perhaps just something routine, which appears to be the case from what we've seen so far. What are some key observations that we should be looking out for that will not be on explicit display? I mean, for instance, what kind of give and takes do you think the two leaders exchanged, particularly judging from the Chinese delegation?
Great question. You know, this is the first visit by the Chinese supreme leader to North Korea in 15 years since Hu Jintao. And he brought with him Wang Yi, as well as a team that is equipped to discuss with North Korean counterparts a wide range of North Korean-Chinese relations, especially on the economic front. So Xi Jinping here seems to be playing a very concerted and strategic game. He is trying to bring Kim Jong-un back to the negotiating table and perhaps secure some reward from Donald Trump for having done that. But at the same time, he's providing to the North Korean leader the kinds of security and economic assurances that Kim Jong-un needs to engage the U.S. president from a position of confidence. So this is China reasserting itself in the denuclearization and peace process in a big way. And Xi Jinping, I think, eager to repair relations with Donald Trump and perhaps find a way out of their trade war.
Absolutely. So the Kim-Xi summit yesterday kicks off a series of summits in the next few weeks. How do you expect Xi Jinping to use this new North Korean card when he sits down with the U.S. president, especially on the G20 stage where we expect a flurry of summit diplomacies to take place as well there?
It's a great question, and I think that Xi Jinping is really trying to show Donald Trump that on a key foreign policy objective of the United States, China is in position to deliver something of value to the U.S. president. President Trump would like for his North Korean diplomacy to be the signature accomplishment in the foreign policy realm of his administration's first term. And Xi Jinping also wants success in that peace process. So in the middle of a tough trade war, Xi Jinping wants to deliver a gift to Donald Trump, which is Kim Jong-un coming back to the negotiating table with a more flexible attitude. And I think President Moon Jae-in, of course, will be there as well at the G20, and then will host President Trump shortly thereafter. So you're going to see a flurry of coordinated high-level diplomacy over the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So in the bigger picture, how does this trip by Xi to Pyongyang and the messages of support for the North Kim that he's been delivering change the nuclear diplomacy equation in this part of the world? I mean, is Kim Jong-un returning to dialogue, do you think? Will this impact Presidents Moon and Donald Trump meeting in Seoul after the G20?
I think Kim Jong-un does want a third summit. But of course, he wants Xi Jinping to persuade Donald Trump to soften the U.S. position in the same way that Donald Trump is hoping that Xi Jinping and Moon Jae-in will collectively convince North Korea that the offer on the table so far from the North on denuclearization is not nearly enough to merit the kinds of sanctions relief and U.S. responses that the North wants. But I think in Washington it's worth remembering also that Xi Jinping's outreach will be viewed with a little bit of suspicion because not everyone in Washington believes that China and the United States share the same long-term vision for the Korean Peninsula.
All right, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next couple of days and weeks. Frank Jannuzi, President and CEO of the Maureen and Mike Mansfield Foundation, many thanks for speaking with us and enduring that technical difficulty. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.